Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tony the Mole Adams YouTube channel. And this is a new series, which is the last video's been very, very popular. It's called Tony's Top 5, and we take advantage of the fact that Tony can remember when rugby league still had lineouts and breakaways almost. And he's been around long enough to be a good judge of who's good and who's bad, and who was fast and who was slow, who was tough, who was weak. And he's also a good judge of a match, of a rugby league match. We thought we'd ask him to rank his 5 greatest grand finals of all time. Tony, what's your criteria for a great game? Because people are a little bit different. Some people are just into the finish. Some people are into how significant the game was, how important it was. And some people and other people think it's got to be like thriller minute, the full 80 minutes, or if it goes into extra time, the full 100 minutes, or whatever. What's your criteria for a great game?
Yeah, it's a good question, Steve. Well, I posed this question to my flock on social media, which was their greatest grand final, and a lot of them went for the 40-0 Manly v Melbourne. Now, I think that might have been a little bit of payback for the Storm from Manly fans, but for me, 40-0 does not make a great grand final. I think any game that's close, hard, decided in the last few minutes, and haven't we had a few of those in recent years? So yeah, basically a game with twists and turns and fascinating little moments of magic that turn the game. I think that's what really makes it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to date this video by saying the match, but I saw a game at the weekend where it was the team that hadn't led any time in the game actually won it after the bell, and that's a great finish and a great moment. But the standard during the 80 minutes wasn't great. I can't call that a great game. I can call it a great finish, a great moment, unforgettable, iconic, but I can't call it a great game. But anyway, I'm sure that your 5 will peel back the layers of what you think makes a wonderful rugby league game. Let's start with number 5.
Number 5, the infamous Craig Smith penalty try when hit high by Jamie Ainscough in the 1999 grand final. Now, that was one of Bill Harrigan's bravest decisions. Although I think in the end we didn't have a bunker in those days. We had a video ref, and he made the final call. But yeah, the Storm beating the Dragons, they put a crossfield kick in the Storm. I feel sorry for Jamie Ainscough to this day because he's been painted as the villain of the picture, but it all happened so quickly. I think he was just going for the ball along with Craig Smith. Sadly, he caught Craig Smith's head and not the ball, knocked him out. Craig Smith became a cult hero. Penalty try that I think levelled the scores, and then Matt Guy had to kick the conversion still a conversion, but it was from right in front of the posts. If he just let Craig Smith score, it would have been from out wide, and maybe we'd be talking a totally different result. But a great win of the Storm. And when you think what a great franchise the Storm were, this was their second season. I mean, who wins a premiership in their second season? Just unheard of in the modern era. But they did it in 1999.
And it was St George Illawarra's first season. But you know what's interesting about this is people don't remember the kind of backstory of seasons. They just remember the game and the moment. Those two teams were allowed to pretty much cheat the salary cap in order to, because it was after the Super League war. When I say cheat, they were given concessions. It was after the Super League war, and clubs were being shut down. So Perth and Hunter Mariners were being shut down. Players didn't have jobs, and they wanted Melbourne to be successful. So everyone had a notional salary cap, and Melbourne were allowed to squeeze in the best of those two clubs. And of course, also the game wanted the joint ventures to be successful. So they squeezed the best of Illawarra and St George together. And so those two teams, there's a reason why they played in the grand final that year, because they were, the value of their squads were more than anyone else in the comp. But people just remember that one moment, don't they? They just remember that one moment. Okay, what's your number 4?
Number 4, this will please Jonathan Thurston and Cowboys fans. 2015 Cowboys v Broncos. It won't please a certain halfback for the Broncos, who we both know, Steve, whose name I've forgotten for a second. Ben Hunt, who we went to extra time when Kyle Felt scored in the corner. From the kickoff to extra time, or golden point as it was then, Ben Hunt dropped the ball, and from the next set, Jonathan Thurston kicked the field goal, the Cowboys' first grand final win. They still talk about it up there today, and they still talk about it with poor Ben Hunt. But just a magical moment, magical game. The late Graham Murray, coach of the late Paul Green, coach of the Cowboys. Very special game for everyone involved.
Yeah, and one of the first ones I missed in decades. Actually, when I say I missed, I watched it, but I wasn't inside the ground. Okay, next one, number 3.
Yeah, and this one, a very recent one, the 2023 Panthers miracle. You'll remember Ezra Mam just raced in 3 tries for the Broncos. And I remember posting on Twitter at the time, this is it, Panthers gone, Broncos have won the game. 20 minutes to go, I think they were 15, 20 points up. And I didn't take that post down, which I normally do when I screw things up, because everyone who was at the ground, who was watching on TV, thought the same thing. I mean, it wasn't just the Broncos, it was Ezra Mann going bang, bang, bang. And the Panthers were just, deer in the headlights. But then all of a sudden, Nathan Cleary sprang to life. He laid on try after try. I think he scored the final one himself. And a great win for the Panthers, and kept that era that only just finished alive, well and truly.
Wow, good choice, Tony. Okay, and what about number 2?
Number 2, we're going back to the 90s, back to close to the Super League War. Well, in the middle of the Super League War, 1997, the moment that's really immortalised Joey Johns, Newcastle against Manly. Manly were leading with about 10 seconds left on the clock. Joey snuck down the blind side, put Darren Albert over. Famous scenes you and I can still remember, and I'm sure all of Newcastle remember, of the Johns boys jumping for joy. Paul Harrigan brought to tears, and coached by Malcolm Reilly, a famous Englishman. So, this is what I mean by the twists and turns. I think the Manly fans were about to pop the champagne corks, but Joey had other ideas.
And Malcolm really was so close to Bob Fulton that he actually felt sorry for him at full time, which is amazing that those two were so close. I know a good book about the 1997 season, still available. 2 Tribes. A link in the bio. Now, Tony, it's always one of 2. I think I'm going to be shocked if it's anything other than the one I think it is. So, when you tell us your number 1, because these are the 2 that are kind of everyone always argues about, tell us why you chose this one over 97, and obviously tell the viewers the game, but then explain to us why it edged out 97.
Well, I've got to give you a bit of a spoiler alert first, Steve, because I sort of had a very vested interest in this. I'm going 1989, the grand final being won by a team out of Sydney for the first time. Tim Sheens getting the Canberra Raiders over the line in extra time against Balmain in just an epic game that had just so many twists and turns. But my little claim to fame here, and we'll discuss it at length another day, is that I helped get Tim Sheens to Canberra. So I sort of feel like I played my part in that. But just a marvellous game. Balmain leading, I think, 14-2. Then the Raiders scored through Gary Belcher. The great Chicka Ferguson levelled the scores. We went to extra time. Chris O'Sullivan, it wasn't golden point back then. Chris O'Sullivan kicked a field goal to edged the Raiders ahead. And then Andy Courier, a man well known in your part of the world, put in a little grubber kick. Mal Meninga picked it up, passed it to a virtual no-name called Steve Jackson in the Canberra team, and he beat about 4 defenders in a memorable run that's still replayed to this day. Scored the try, and the Raiders were home. Very historic game in that since 1908, the grand final had always been won by Sydney teams, and all of a sudden this team from Canberra scored a miracle win. And just to show it was no fluke, they won it again the following year in 1990 and made the grand final in 91, probably as close as we've got to the Panthers era that just ended. But of course, they were beaten by the Panthers in 91 by Gus Gould. So, yeah, some fascinating things there. And I had a lot of fun putting that together, that list, I've got to say. And doubtless people will disagree, but that's the beauty of sport, isn't it?
It is, Tony, and thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. And don't forget, this is the third of these that we've recorded. We did one on the toughest 5 players Tony has seen, and that has gone really well on Tony's channel. The one we did before that, the fastest, it got lost a little bit by the algorithm didn't like it. Mustn't like the thumbnail I did or something. So look for that one, because the toughest that's a really good one too. So Tony, it's been a pleasure, and we'll keep doing these because I think people like them.
Sounds good, Steve. Yeah, we'll do another one. We'll think of another theme. Maybe if people have a suggestion, they can put it in the comments.
What about worst Mad Monday atrocities?
Oh, geez. Was Julian O'Neill Mad Monday and the poo in the shoe? I'm just trying to think. I don't think
no, it was in Dubbo. I figured out I was actually driving past his hotel as he did it.
Oh, geez. Could you smell anything?
No,